Sex in Japan, I think it's very hard.
I'm like a one-night stand. I bang you.
Hey guys, today's video is going to be about sex in Japan.
See me up in the club with 50-11 girls. Posted in the back, diamond fangs in my grill. Brooklyn brim with my eyes sitting low. And every boy in here with me got that smoke. And every girl in here.
Sorry to disappoint you, but yeah, I'm not a virgin. I did a video a week ago about dating in Japan, and I didn't want it to put like dating into the same part of like sex dating, because for me it's kind of like two different things. If I with like my mom and I would meet someone I've been on a date with, I would like say hi to them and acknowledge them and not necessarily introduce them, but I would be like, oh hey, how you doing? But in a case I would meet someone I don't know without being alone that I had a sex date with and I'm with my mom, I probably would be like, I don't know her.
Hi! Oh my God, great to see you. Like, no, girl, hey, what's up, girl? Peace, whatever. You know, it's whatever.
I still don't know her. The same business manager.
45% of people underneath the age of 35-year-old in Japan are virgins. In comparison, in France, under 25-year-old, it's 26% who are virgins, so it's kind of like a huge difference. But now that I've been here for like almost 3 months now, I actually really like understand a lot of the reason why it's this way. I myself haven't had that much action since I had so much drama going on, so I was not necessarily in the mood. Like, I mean, human beings are pretty much just like animals. Like, you need to have like food and to be rested before kind of like sexual impulses really like comes into your mind. So yeah, the first reason I think why it's this way, it's kind of obvious. It's because of the amount of work. Like, people work kind of crazy hours here, and once you're like exhausted when you go home, engaging in any kind of like sexual activity kind of seems like a waste of energy. Like, it's kind of like a real different realm for me, because like, for instance, in Paris, I mean, I have like modeling is kind of like extreme, so I have like days when I have plenty of time, but then once in a while when you have like, when I have this really like busy day and I go home, I'm exhausted. Like, I had a period of time when I didn't even have like energy to masturbate because I was just like so tired. I was like, it's better for me to just sleep. So I guess this is what kind of explains the situation here. And you really, I think, need to like come here and like observe it to really like know what it's like. Like, in my neighborhood, for instance, when sometimes at 4 in the morning I go like to the convenience store, I actually see people going to work like fully dressed in clothes. So they probably had to wake up at 3 or something at their home so they could be at work at 4.
Look around to me whenever, okay?
Having sex in Japan, I think it's very hard. I think one of the other reasons why people don't have that much sex in Japan is also because of the accommodation style. A lot of people live in a guest house like the same that I'm living, or live with their parents. And the country is quite traditional. I mean, I myself would have a hard time having sex with my parents in the living room. In my mind, I would just have my parents' image in my mind, so I would never, I think, be able to like do this. So I guess people don't really have a place to like engage in sexual activities even when they want to. It's a bit complicating to find. There are a few like love hotels here, but yeah, then you need to have, I guess, a little bit more money. And yeah, it's kind of like a complicated dynamic. In the guest house, you're normally not supposed to like bring people. I actually, not here, but in my former guest house, I didn't respect the rule. Okay, I don't know, should I tell you the story or not? This is gonna turn into a story time. Okay, little story time. Oh yeah! I was talking like to a Japanese girl like from Tinder, and then we like exchanged like information, and we were like chatting on like a line. And one morning she was like texting me and stuff, and basically she was saying, I want to sleep with you, but it's not sleeping. In French we have like a word that actually means like sleep like this. And basically when I translated it, that's the word that popped. So I was like, what? It's like the morning. I mean, I kind of know like this move, but still it was like kind of weird because it was just the morning. And then I was like, I kind of understood it. Then I basically like told her like she could come like to my place, which was not like really my place because we were like six-siding in the house. I was like trying to see if like there's like nobody at the entrance, but if you can see it in my house tour, my previous house tour, that in that apartment we had like the sink at the entrance. So basically when we were like coming into the house, there's like one of the other guys like at the sink like brushing his teeth. And I told her by text that if we get into the house to just like kind of follow me but not too close, so that people would just think just like someone else from the house. And the funniest thing is that then somebody saw us, so I kind of like distanced myself.
Die kenne ich nicht.
I like to have a distance so that they just thought like we're just like two housemates, because it's a bit, when there is a lot of people in the house, it's a bit hard for people to know who is from the house or not. And so basically then she didn't, I think, like saw where I enter, because I enter my bedroom, and she actually opened the door of one of the other housemates, and he was probably like sleeping, and she opened and she like saw it was not like me, so she was like sumimasen, sumimasen, and she just like shut the door, and then I reopened mine and I was like kochi 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 kochi. So yeah, that's probably I think one of the main reasons. Also, one of the thing I found here, I feel like a lot of people are kind of like a lot into the concept maybe of like sex friend, because I've had a lot of people like or I don't know if they didn't like haven't decided maybe what kind of relationship they wanted with me, but then they're like kind of like this was from my previous trip, I think 2 years ago, and we basically like had a sex date. And after I was like invited like, hey, do you want to like have ramen noodles together or something? And also before I was asked like this, and I don't know, for me it's a bit weird even if I'm changing, but normally I don't really like mixing.
I'm like a one night stand. I bang you, and then if I don't want to do you no more, I don't do you.
A sex date, as I said, with like dating and with like friendship, so I basically like to separate them like both. But yeah, here it seems like it's quite common, at least for the people I've encountered from my personal experience, to actually then just like kind of hang out or anything like this. And I kind of appreciate that, because also a lot of people were like not like they just jump into bed, but they're like, hey, do you want to like hang out, do you want to have a drink, have a meal? And as I said in my previous video, people often like ask you out for a meal instead of like just a drink or something. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I like it because it's like they're interested in you in a full manner, even if it doesn't necessarily mean like they want to marry you or something, but it's still like more engaging than just like, hey, let's jump into bed, which is more like Paris style. One thing though that I really also noticed, and I'm gonna say it because I also talk about it with one of my friends, and yeah, it's probably gonna be like the first or the last time I'm saying something pretty much negative about Japan. But I've noticed that here, people seem to not like using condoms. And this is really something that I don't understand. I mean, there are people like this also in Paris, but here I felt like, and it's like not only guys, but it's like men and women. Basically, yeah, basically also like with the story time I was like talking before with that girl. If I don't stop things at the moment and say like, okay, I want like, I'm gonna get a condom or something, they're basically like already riding me, and I'm like, you're not riding this horse without a security belt. If you want to play pony with me, you need to have like the necessary things. And this is really something that I don't understand. I mean, some people also are like this in Paris, but I really don't get what is this kind of concept, because it really feels to me like playing Russian roulette. Like, you might get shot while you're playing. It's not worth it. It's very funny because I feel like people are not any less sexual here than anywhere else, like Europe or something. But it's kind of just like the way and the formula that they use to actually like describe and everything that are quite different and quite like, I don't know, interesting. Vocabulary lesson. For instance, like at first I was like getting messages and it was like yaritai. And I was like, what does it mean? And then I translated it and it means I want to do it. And I was like, want to do what? Like, I don't know, but it was like, I was not like in that, I cannot like switch conversation that quick, like from a global conversation to like something sexual, like in a millisecond. So when I just read like, I want to do it, I was like, want to do what? And then I got like this message several times and I finally understood like what it meant. Also, you can use muramura. I don't actually know where it comes from. People also use this a lot. I'm gonna keep a little bit of my stories that I have because I'm gonna tell you like a story times about going in a love hotel in Japan. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to thumbs up to keep me popping. Yes. And to subscribe if you want to see more. Keep yourself happy. Jana.